Your roadmap to the latest in auto. Welcome to Highway Herald. Today, we're diving into an issue that transcends car enthusiasm, shaking economies across North America. Canada, one of the US's closest allies, is preparing bold retaliatory measures against proposed tariffs. These actions could redefine international trade, threatening the tightly knit supply chains that drive the automotive world. Buckle up as we uncover 7 critical outcomes of Canada's countermeasures and explore their potential to reshape not only the car industry, but global commerce as well. Number 7. U.S. automakers face turbulence. The U.S. automotive industry, crucial to the economy, relies heavily on its partnership with Canada, exporting $24 billion in automotive goods in 2023. However, proposed Canadian tariffs on U.S.-made vehicles and components pose significant risks. Higher costs for Canadian-sourced parts would raise production expenses, leading to increased car prices and potentially reduce consumer demand. The highly interdependent supply chain, where parts cross borders multiple times, could face severe disruptions, causing delays and efficiency challenges. Manufacturers might need to reconsider suppliers and production locations, creating additional financial and logistical hurdles. States like Michigan, which exported $23 billion to Canada, are especially vulnerable, with potential layoffs and economic struggles in communities reliant on the auto sector. These challenges could reshape the North American automotive industry and its deeply connected economies. Number 6. Political power plays in motion. Canada's retaliatory measures go beyond economics. They're a calculated political strategy. By focusing on industries in key U.S. states, such as Michigan, with its dependence on the auto sector, Canada aims to pressure American policymakers into action. This approach mirrors past tactics, like in 2018, when Canada targeted politically sensitive U.S. products like bourbon and motorcycles, though the stakes are now higher. On the Canadian side, political shifts intensify the situation. With Prime Minister Justin Trudeau stepping down, candidates like Chrystia Freeland emphasize tough trade stances, resonating with a national sentiment to stand against perceived economic aggression. This mix of economic retaliation and political maneuvering highlights the intricate connection between trade policies and domestic politics, reminding us that such decisions are rarely just about commerce. They're also about wielding strategic influence. Number 5. Agricultural sector in the crosshairs. Agriculture has been a vital pillar of U.S.-Canada trade, with American exports of corn, soybeans, and orange juice playing a key role. However, proposed Canadian tariffs could significantly impact U.S. farmers. These tariffs would make American goods more expensive and less competitive in Canadian markets, reducing demand and leaving U.S. farmers with excess supply. This surplus could drive prices down and squeeze already narrow profit margins in the agricultural sector. The effects would extend beyond farmers. Rural communities reliant on agriculture could face job losses and economic downturns, while related industries such as transportation and farm equipment manufacturing might also feel the strain. A prolonged trade dispute risks exacerbating these challenges. If Canadian importers turn to alternative suppliers, rebuilding trade relationships and market share could take years, leaving lasting damage to U.S. agriculture. Before we delve deeper, we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to Highway Herald. Your support fuels our passion to create more content like this. Now, let's explore outcome number 4, energy exports as a strategic ace. Energy trade is a cornerstone of the U.S.-Canada economic ties, with Canada serving as the largest foreign supplier of oil, natural gas, and electricity to the U.S., totaling $100 billion in 2023. Amid rising tensions, Canada's energy exports could become a powerful bargaining tool. Although no official moves have been made to restrict supplies, even the possibility sends shockwaves. Northern U.S. states, reliant on Canadian electricity during peak demand, could face shortages and higher costs. Meanwhile, the refining industry, dependent on Canadian crude oil, might experience disruptions, potentially driving nationwide fuel price hikes. Energy isn't merely a commodity, it's a strategic lever. The critical role of Canadian energy exports highlights the stakes in this trade conflict. Number 3. Critical minerals, Canada's trump card. Canada's vast reserves of critical minerals, nickel, cobalt, and lithium, are vital to the global push for electric vehicles and renewable energy technologies. These resources go beyond environmental importance. They play a critical role in geopolitical strategies. As a key supplier to the U.S., Canada supports America's efforts to lead in EV battery production and clean energy innovation. But what if Canada restricts or diverts these exports? The impact could be significant. US automakers and tech companies might face production delays and higher costs as they scramble for alternatives. With China dominating the market, the US risks falling behind. Canada is also expanding trade ties with the European Union and South Korea, potentially bypassing the US entirely. By strategically leveraging its mineral resources, Canada could reshape trade dynamics and shift the global economic balance. Number 2. Testing the limits of the USMCA. The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, created to stabilize North American trade, faces a critical test as Canada's retaliatory measures challenge its mechanisms. The dispute resolution process, if triggered, could result in lengthy arbitration, leaving businesses in limbo for months or even years. This strain puts the agreement's credibility at risk. If Canada perceives the USMCA as inadequate for protecting its interests, it might pursue alternative alliances with global players like the European Union or China. Such a shift would significantly disrupt North American economic ties and cooperation. The implications go beyond this dispute. A weakened USMCA could set a precedent for future trade conflicts, challenging the agreement's purpose of fostering collaboration and stability. As tensions rise, the outcome may redefine how nations approach multilateral trade agreements moving forward. Number 1. Shaping a new global trade landscape. The implications of this US-Canada trade dispute extend far beyond North America. As Canada takes bold steps to counter US tariffs, other nations are watching closely. A successful retaliation could inspire countries worldwide to adopt similar strategies, challenging America's dominance in global trade. Canada's appeal to the World Trade Organization adds another layer of complexity. A ruling in favor of Canada could not only strengthen its position, but also isolate the US diplomatically. Such an outcome might embolden other nations to challenge US trade policies, leading to a significant realignment of global economic alliances. The ripple effects would be felt across industries, from automotive manufacturing to consumer electronics. As new trade routes and partnerships emerge, global supply chains could be reshaped, introducing a new era of international commerce with far-reaching consequences. Verdict: navigating an economic crossroads. The escalating trade standoff between Canada and the US represents more than just a bilateral dispute. It's a potential turning point for economic and political relationships on a global scale. With automakers facing supply chain disruptions, tech companies scrambling for critical resources, and ripple effects across industries, the stakes couldn't be higher. The key question is whether these longtime allies can resolve their differences before the situation worsens. Will this confrontation lead to a more balanced and equitable trade system? Or are we witnessing the first steps toward a deeper economic divide? Your turn. What's next in global trade? What do you think about Canada's bold stance? Could it inspire a broader shift in how nations approach trade, or is this the start of an even larger economic conflict? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. Be sure to subscribe to Highway Herald for updates on this high-stakes story and beyond. Hit the notification bell to join us for more in-depth explorations of the ever-changing automotive world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.